Hello, I am Christy, and this is my assignment on Educator dispositions. The first question for this assignment asked us, what dispositions do we possess that would make us a good educator? Well, I was looking through the survey, and a lot of it sounded like me in general. However, I know no matter how many years of experience that we have as a teacher, that there will always be room to grow. So, looking back at the survey, 3 dispositions really popped out as it's something that I get complimented on and something that I feel proud of, because I look at my students and say, you know what? You're capable of much more than what I'm working with you on right now. So the first thing that really popped out was educators should believe that all students can learn and should set and support realistic expectations for student success. When I came into my new classroom, I had students that were working on being able to just point out letters. And with how high functioning they were compared to my other students, I knew that they were much more capable of doing more than that. So I up in one day asked them to tell me each letter, and they verbally told me each letter and was able to tell me the sound for that letter. So instead of confining them to that lowest goal, I went above and put them at that next level that I knew that they were capable of. And that's something that I don't only do with my higher functioning students, but my lower functioning as well. Some might be very hyped up and won't touch the correct answer, but when I ask them to tell me what something is, they will verbally tell me. So again, I give them that opportunity to go to that next level and show what they are truly capable of. The second one that I have is educators should demonstrate professional friendliness, warmth, and genuine caring in their relationships with others while providing intellectual, emotional, and spiritual support. My students are my babies. I sit there when they accomplish one of their goals. I am jumping up and down like I just won the lottery. That's how excited I get. When it comes to my co-workers, there's not one day that goes by, even when I'm feeling sick, that I don't stop by and say hey to any one of them, or see how their day is going, or just having those random conversations about something good that happened in either one of our classrooms. There's always some positive support system or conversations going on a daily basis. And the last one, educators should be committed to the profession of teaching and learning. If I wasn't dedicated to teaching, I obviously would not stay in the classroom, especially after having a daughter. I went back 6 weeks later, jumped in my classroom like I hadn't even been out. I ended up being transferred to a new school literally over the weekend. I was told on a Friday that I needed to go to a new school, and I said, you know what, I'll start on Monday. I went in on Monday and got adjusted to my kids that very day. So, needless to say, I feel like those are the qualities that make me a good teacher. It's something that I do every day, and that I feel is what helped the kids sit there and reach their potential. And I've had teachers tell me that my positive attitude with them and how they see me act with the students really puts a smile on their faces. So that makes my day hearing that as well. The second question asked, what dispositions do I need to work on before I enter the classroom as a first-year teacher? Well, I am currently working on my 3rd year of teaching. I student taught, and I've completed 2 years of teaching. But looking at this disposition self-assessment, one of the things that I would say is that I should model understanding the impact of community involvement and servant leadership as it applies to the welfare of others in the educational setting. I have volunteered for stuff like Horses for Handicap that cater to the students that I serve as a teacher. Volunteering is something that I've always done, so that's not really something that I feel like I've had to work on in the sense of volunteerism. However, I know that there's more I could do within the community that could benefit my students that I really don't know about right now. So looking at that, I know that's something I could look into a little bit more. Being sensitive to individual learning and social needs of students and embracing the cultural diversity of the community. My classroom itself is diverse, and I sit there and cater to each of the individuals' learning needs, because what works with one student is definitely not going to work with one of my lower functioning students. So I feel like that is something that every teacher needs to work on prior to becoming a first year teacher, is realizing that not everything you do is going to work for every student that you teach. Right? And our last one is, what does a professional educator look like and how do they behave? As well as what standards guide their thinking and actions. Well, a teacher, no one teacher is going to look the same, just like no one doctor looks the same, no lawyer looks the same, nobody in any job looks the same. So I'm not going to tell you that a teacher is well dressed, fancy clothes, comes to school every day in a suit, or Sunday's best or anything like that. No, teachers come in different shapes and sizes just like our students. However, I feel like teachers, a good teacher, come with a smile on their face, ready for the day to begin to teach their students, and definitely just presentable, obviously. We're not going to come to school wearing holes in our jeans with some wife beater t-shirt that we just got yesterday. It's not going to happen. So there is certain standards that we uphold as teachers, is professionalism, and the way we dress coming to work is one way of showing that professionalism. How do they behave? Again, smile on their face, ready to teach. They're not only eager to teach their students, but they're eager to learn as well. Just as the material that our students have to learn, the material that we have to teach changes constantly, and we've got to be eager to learn that so we can teach our students. And last is, what standards guide thinking and actions? There's not really a set standard that guides any one teacher. Special education, which is what I'm under, we have a set of standards on documentation for behaviors. It could be for IEPs. And in my case, keeping documentation of their work on a daily basis. The math department is going to have different standards than the science department. But at the end of the day, again, that eagerness, that ready to see their kids every day, ready to help them learn, it's pretty much that's going to drive these teachers. So this concludes my video on educator dispositions, and I hope that you're able to get something from this. Bye!